Good morning, everybody. This is Cliff London from Cliff London Uncensored, of course. Um, Sorry about the slip in content, but with this stuff's been going on, I've been having to do a lot of overtime at my job because people can't get down to downtown because things are shut down. All this violence is going on in Chicago for no fucking reason. I was gonna make a video bitching about Alexandria Ocasio Cortez some more. AOC. But, I just got in the door. I had to take an Uber. Probably cost me like $30 or something like that. I had to take an Uber. And it got me thinking of things that's been going on the past couple weeks. And, then my mind kind of drifted to my son almost being here in a few months. I'm very excited about that. And I start thinking about what now your life changes, your view changes. It's the last of that rebellious spirit because now it's time to become samurai daddy. you know and you worry about the world in which you were trying to produce a hopefully good human being to contribute to a better society. The best parts of yourself, hopefully doesn't get any of the bad. That being said, the reason why I talk about that is because I see a lot of on the news and a lot of these riots and shit. I see a lot of these teenagers, and the thing about this certain these teenagers that I see, and I say they're teenagers, but there's probably some 20, 30 somethings sprinkled in there. But I'm talking about things that have happened within the span of a couple of weeks here. So there are times where, especially here in Chicago, I work literally a few blocks away from the Magnificent Mile. And whenever this violence and stuff breaks out down and around that area, they make sure all those ritzy businesses and hotels are protected. They have these two streets that go, these big drawbridges that go up, that go up. No one can leave, no one can come out. That's why it took me so long to get home, because the Uber driver, we were doing this thing, something that would have cost $20, probably cost twice as much, just because we're trying to get around and there's police and all these taxpayer dollars. They don't even have enough police cars to block off all the places, so sometimes they would just have a fucking random sanitation truck there, water and sewage truck there to block the area. Now, I have to say that it was pretty much overkill, because I guess they were trying to stop it before it happened, but isn't that what the police are supposed to do? But again, they're not really permitted to do their job, are they? Lest they be accused of being racist or get fired or get hurt by the very same people that they are expected to help. But that's another video. Salud. Salud, Nostrovia, whatever. But again, it just when you're about to have a child, it makes you think about the world in which you are bringing a child into. When I was younger, that's what I always said. I don't want to bring a child into this world. But that was pretty much an excuse that I used when I was younger, because when I was in my 20s, I wasn't ready to have a kid. And it's what I told the ladies. I don't want to bring a child into this world. And I actually believed it then. Kind of believe it now, but makes me a bit fearful. Fearful because society has lost something. These protests and shit. See, they've lost something. And that's something that they have lost is the ability to discern good from evil, because everyone is so obsessed with what people think of them personally Just think about it. When you talk to someone, you can never get a straight answer from someone. Oh, well, I don't think that Trump's that bad, but oh, they send some tension. But I do see what you're saying. Everybody's worried about that. Then just spread, than just saying what is good and what is evil. Because that's what it really comes down to, right? You can say, to me personally, although I would say, people would say I'm conservative leaning, but I'm really not. But not that that's a negative. I just believe that certain shit's okay. I'm just not anti. I'm not anti-family. I'm not I'm not religious, but people that are, if they are righteous and are about that life, I respect it and congrats. I love it because a lot of these things have good rules. And it's a good system to live by. It doesn't matter what I think. If you believe in it, it makes you a great person or a better person because you live by that code, then who am I to say anything? But see, that's what that's what the leftists, they just want you to believe whatever they want you to believe. They don't like anything that resembles tradition or a nuclear family. You have some types of feminists that look down on the stay-at-home mom, even whether their mom was one or not. See, they're tearing at the fabric of society, as opposed, they keep trying to, they're the ones that are driving wedges between us. That's why I've always hated the term diversity. I've always hated the term diversity because it's like, let's celebrate that we're all different and can't get along. It's like, highlight our differences. And it is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Let's talk about how we're different. That's where I get all conspiracy theory. Because what? No. In this country, out of all the others, we should be focusing on what makes us the same. We already know what makes us different. We manufacture shit. Everybody's worried about, this. And I just got to remind you something, and those of you that don't know, but being a different skin tone is about the equivalent of a leopard having different spots. In this society, we've attached things to it. That's another video that talks about human nature and why. There's something fundamentally that we haven't been able to fix with humanity, that you want excuses to separate and make one different, And that's what people usually do. But skin tone, I've said this in other videos, melanin. Anybody that has varying levels of it, whether it be no matter what it's from, it only accounts, skin tone in general only accounts for the minuscule amount of 4%. So all your differences and shit, all this bullshit's manufactured, and that's what the real problem is. Manufactured attachment to shit, being told that you're not good enough, or that the world's against you. Conditioning. This is all leftist stuff, by the way. When I was raised up that, the Republicans don't care about minorities. That's it. I never even knew until maybe 3-4 years ago. I was like, I didn't know that there was so many black conservatives. I didn't know. I thought it was really cool. I was like, well, shit, there's hope. These people aren't afraid to speak their minds. Some shit I agree with, some I don't. See, I'm my own person. I'm my own thinker. That's why I can't really, I agree with a lot of conservative shit, but that doesn't mean I'm conservative. I just am my own man. I don't need that to be, I don't need to put a term on it. I am this. What I am is human. What I am is Cliff London. Conservative, Republican, Democrat, none of that shit. It's all irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Those names and those titles and those things, again, more division, first of all. The very act of politics and voting, the very act of it in itself is the true divisiveness. Because what America actually is is a bunch of great, wonderful people. And I truly believe that most are decent people. No one's perfect. And I think that's one reason why we let things go on for so long. And I think it's so, it's so much in style that people just think that, you know, only in a country like this could you have millions of people just think that money is limitless to dole out among thousands upon thousands of people trying to rush your border, and you have a good number of them going, but they're just trying to eat. You have a fair number, but most people in our country aren't like, no one's like, fuck it, let them starve. It's just some people are doing the research, and some people just hate Orange Man bad that it don't matter what's going on. They're just not looking at the global picture. If you, well, let's see what are they doing on their borders over there in Guatemala. Let's see. Oh, they got them Nigerians living. They just, hey, if you didn't bring a fucking towel, you sleeping on the dirt. See, it's just what I'm saying. My whole point is that no matter what they are telling you, at some point you're going to have to just decide between good and evil. And what I see coming from people like Joe Biden, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Maxine Waters, Ayanna Pressley, Ilhan Omar, they are the evil. I'm sure there's some evil on the other side, but I'm just saying, and for our country, they are the evil because it benefits them to keep the racial fire burning. It benefits them because they can run off that. You notice none of them are really challenged about their policies or their districts and anything because they can play that I'm an oppressed brown or black person role. There's some shit you can't say, and you have to be careful that you don't say and don't criticize, else you get canceled. They thrive off bullshit like that. Ben Shapiro has challenged that Ocasio-Cortez person to debate several times. She won't take it, but she will come up with dumb fucking shit like the Green New Deal. In principle, it's okay, but what she's talking about is completely stupid. And I don't believe in calling a woman stupid, but that idea is stupid. See, they are the ones. Now, I would say that the thing is, too, if I have a difference of opinion, usually the first people to get in a conversation and want to speak about it and discuss differences are white folk. Even though you have a lot of white folk these days thinking that they can talk about Uncle Tom and all this shit and that shit. And that's, again, shouldn't get mad at them because they probably got a black friend that told them something stupid like, you can come to my barbecue or anytime. Or some stupid shit like that. And they probably don't even have You know what? I'm not even going to get into that. My point is that, the point of this video is what I'm saying is that now is the time. Not the time for Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, libertarian, any of that shit. Now it's just about good and evil. And those names I mentioned before, for America, they are the evil. Because the things that we enjoy, our lifestyle, yeah, it's got skeletons in the closet. Yeah, there's some darkness there. But name me one country that doesn't have any fucking skeletons and shit. That doesn't have a dark past, because that's what humans do. There's wars and shit to get what you want, and people go through amazing, vile lengths to get what they want. So let's just get that out of the way right now. The land was never stolen from the Indians. It was conquered and settled. It's a shitty truth. Same thing with the Africans sold blacks to whites. They would have never been, these dudes getting off the boat after being at sea for 7-8 months and shit, all malnourished and shit. Nah, they weren't rolling up in force ready to fight some dudes that are used to running and hunting in the forest and shit. No way. They were sold prisoners, and no one really holds those African people accountable for it. Why? It don't fit the narrative. Why? They can't play that victim shit. That's why. They can't play that bullshit victim stuff. Now, I'm not saying that everybody on the right is good and stuff. I'm not saying that either. That's where you have to judge the individual and watch what they do, watch their actions, and not what they say. Their actions, what laws they let go. They might tell you some shit, and then the paperwork different. It's time to decide, ladies and gentlemen, between good and evil. And right now, certain people are evil for this country. Most Americans don't want this socialism, communist rule. We don't want it. And I'll tell you something, you weirdo progressives and shit. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're going to help 45 get right back in there. No one's perfect. But I guarantee you got more of a shot with him putting more jobs out there. You just have a better shot of being the best that you can be. Because with the progressive left and the Democrats, all that we're going to be is a big fucking blank check for fucking Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras. You're just going to be a big blank check. We might as well as Americans, if you let these people win, as Americans, we might as well just stand there with hundreds in our hand and hand it to them as they tunnel under and crawl over the border. That's basically what we are. You never, ever, ever, you've heard none of these people. And of course, like fucking Ilhan, the traitor fucking Omar, that woman wants to clearly see America burn, and America saved her wretched ass. And she's still, how ungrateful is that? Somalia is a fucking shithole. It is. I'm sorry, just because there's lots of brown people there and they're dancing around and have culture doesn't mean that their son can hit shrapnel on the way to fucking school. You see, when shit like that happens here in this country, and it's one reason why they want to take our guns away, because when shit like that happens in this country, the reason why it's America, when we wanted the fucking Brits gone, we got them the fuck up out of here, See, when you revolt from within, revulsion from within, it's what I keep saying about these other countries. They'll come here and, Honduras and Guatemala, they'll come here and steal a way of life. They have all that fucking grit to take children and drag them through treacherous desert and risk fucking slave trades and sex trafficking and all that shit just to get here. They'll do that. But you won't remain there and group together and fight for the country that you want. That how you want it to be. See, that's why they want to take our guns, because they go too far with this communist shit. We'll fight back. That's what's great about our country. We fight back. We would stay. I wouldn't run somewhere else and become a public charge. I wouldn't run somewhere else with needing medical attention. I wouldn't run somewhere else and remain for 30 years and never learn their language or their customs. And if I did do that, I certainly wouldn't cry or couldn't cry and wouldn't have the right to cry if when I was finally found out I was sent back to my country. I certainly wouldn't go on Netflix and serve some stupid fucking narrative. It is time, everybody. What side are you going to join? The Force or the fucking dark side? Good or evil? Because something fucking evil is coming upon us. And those of us that do believe in the righteousness, those of us that do believe in the light, that do believe in our country and our way of life, we are going to have to band together, all colors, all creeds, all religions, as long as we, care about this land. Everybody else cares about their land. It's just not in style for us to. We're supposed to be like, fuck it. We're guilty. No, fuck that. I don't expect anybody to do anything, but just to make it, just put the knowledge in the back. Just put it on your little mental shelf. Just put it on your mental shelf. Because America is a fucking melting pot. And it's time that everybody else knows that, because I'm tired of hearing about black and white. It's good and evil now. Good and fucking evil. That being said, I'm very happy that the fucking evil didn't get my ass on the way home tonight, because the hooligans were out the night before. I gotta go, everybody. Just remember, and it's prevalent now, there is no fate but what we make for ourselves. I'm Cliff London. This is Cliff London Uncensored. If you like the video, please rate, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when you get these videos, and it'll really help the channel grow. I hope all of you have very good days, and more good days to come. Go in there, hug your wife, hug your kids, give them a kiss on the forehead, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Good night, everybody.